Welcome to Scoper 90. Today I'm kicking off a focus series that digs into 5 rifles I believe will dominate the market in 2025. Over the next several segments, I'll give you a clear, no-nonsense breakdown of each gun, the hard specs and objective performance notes you need to know, followed by my own subjective impressions based on handling, feel, and real-world usefulness. Expect straightforward comparisons on weight, ergonomics, trigger feel, accuracy, and suitability for hunting, competition, or tactical roles, plus realistic price points so you can judge value at a glance. I'll call out the strengths and the trade-offs for each rifle, highlight which shooters will get the most from them, and point out surprising details that most reviews gloss over. If you like concise analysis that helps you make smarter buying decisions, not hype, you're in the right place. In the next part, I'll start with the Browning XBOLT Speed SPROI and break down why it earned a spot on this list, so let's get into it. The Browning XBOLT Speed SPROI is where solid engineering meets practical hunting-focused design, and it's the perfect rifle to kick off this series. Objectively, you're looking at a package that balances portability with capability. The rifle weighs about 6.16 pounds unloaded, measures roughly 38.5 inches overall, and ships with an 18-inch barrel threaded at the 8th of May 24, listed in some specs as 5824, so you can attach a muzzle device or suppressor right out of the box. The action uses a 60 degrees 3-lug bolt throw that cycles smoothly and quickly. The magazine is a detachable, flush-fitting 4-round unit, and the rifle comes drilled and tapped for optics. The factory trigger breaks around 3.2 pounds and, while not a competition trigger, it's crisp and repeatable enough for hunting and general precision work. There's also a 2-position tang safety that locks the bolt, a nice feature for field carry and rough handling. Expect an MSRP in the neighborhood of $1,400, which positions the XBOLT Speed SPROI as a mid to upper tier hunting rifle rather than an ultra-budget option. Objectively, the Browning scores high in build quality and practical ergonomics. The length of pull and balance make it comfortable for extended glassing and stalking sessions, and the weight distribution, while a bit butt-heavy according to some users, helps tame felt recoil with heavier cartridges. The threaded muzzle and drilled receiver are particularly thoughtful for hunters who want to mount suppressors or high-quality optics without gunsmithing. Accuracy from a stock X-bolt platform is consistently good for hunting distances. You get tight, predictable groups that translate to practical field performance more often than not. The detachable magazine is easy to service, and the 60 degrees bolt throw gives you quicker follow-up capability than a traditional 90 degrees design. Durability-wise, Browning's finish and materials have a proven track record, and this model doesn't feel fragile or overly tacked together. The Ruger American Gen 2 represents the bang-for-your-buck entry on this list, and it's an important contrast to the pricier hunting rigs I just covered. Objectively, the Gen 2 keeps the core strengths of the original Ruger American: reliability, sensible ergonomics, and straightforward mechanical design, while introducing a handful of refinements that make it feel much more modern. Expect an MSRP around $729, which places it squarely in the budget to mid-range segment and makes it accessible to a wide range of shooters. The Gen 2 features a Monte Carlo-style contoured stock with a new splatter pattern texture for better tactile grip without rough abrasions, an adjustable length of pull that ranges from about 12 to 13.75 inches, and a cold hammer-forged, spiral-fluted barrel that free-floats thanks to Ruger's patented bedding block system. The rifle ships with the Ruger Marksman adjustable trigger, tunable between roughly 3 and 5 pounds, and the receiver sports an optics-friendly rail designed to accept a variety of Picatinny-style mounts for fast scope installation. From an objective performance standpoint, the Ruger American Gen 2 punches above its price. The bedding block and free-floated barrel do real work in delivering consistent accuracy for hunting and general precision use. Group sizes from the factory tend to be better than you'd expect at this price point. The adjustable Marksman trigger is clean and repeatable, which helps shooters of different skill levels get comfortable and walk away with more accurate shots. The Cerakote treatment on metal parts boosts corrosion resistance and durability for harsh field use, and the adjustable length of pull plus a proper recoil pad make the rifle adaptable to different body types and shooting positions. Weight and balance are tuned for carry and stalk, rather than long-range bench work, which is exactly what most hunters want from a rifle in this class. Subjectively, the Gen 2 is one of those rifles I'd happily hand to a new shooter or toss in the truck for a multi-day hunt without worrying about buyer's remorse. Contouring gets you aligned naturally. The textured finish gives secure purchase without chewing up clothing, and the trigger, when dialed in, lets you take confidence-building shots. For someone upgrading from a budget starter rifle, the Gen 2 provides a meaningful step up in shootability without forcing you into a steep price jump. The Accuracy International ATX is the competition and long-range specialist on this list, built from the ground. BOH Portati and long-range specialist on this list, built from the repeatable, match-grade performance in harsh conditions. ROH conditions, a long-range specialist on this list, built from the ground up to deliver repeatable, match-grade performance in harsh conditions. Objectively, the ATX is a short-action platform, commonly chambered in 6.5 Creedmoor and .1 308 Win, with cut-rifled barrels offered in lengths like 24 inches and configurable muzzle threading for brakes or suppressors. And it carries the low-profile, rugged features you'd expect from a rifle that traces its lineage to military and law enforcement sniper systems. The ATX line is offered in multiple configurations including competition ATX-C, professional military ATX-MIL, and law enforcement variants, reflecting its cross-platform design goals. Price and availability vary by model and dealer, but expect serious money for an ATX. Official U.S. dealer listings commonly show base ATX rifles around $4,995 for standard short-action 6.5 Creedmoor models, while competition and XC variants and certain dealer bundles push the price into the mid-$5,000 to $7,000 range depending on barrel length, folding stock options, and included accessories. International dealers sometimes list ATX-C and similar configurations in the $5,000–$6,800 range, so plan for a premium budget if you want an out-of-the-box competition or match setup. On hard specs and how it shoots, the ATX earns its reputation through a handful of practical design choices: a short, snappy multi-lug action optimized for competition, easily adjustable two-stage triggers with very light brake weights, modular forends with Arca-style rails or mounts for front rests, and a receiver action geometry that facilitates quick barrel swaps and consistent bedding. Competition-oriented ATX-C models also include adjustable cheek pieces, butt adjustments, and options for long or short bridges and folding stocks, which let a shooter configure balance and balance point for their preferred discipline. Magazines are typically high capacity for the class, and the action geometry is engineered for very consistent lockup and minimal point of impact shift between shots. Subjectively, the ATX feels like a purpose-built tool rather than a generalist rifle. In the hand, it's hefty and planted, not something you'd want to carry all day on a spot and stock hunt, but that mass and the rifle's geometry pay dividends on the firing line. The bolt is short and smooth, the trigger options allow for extremely precise, confidence-building brakes, and the chassis stock ergonomics make getting a repeatable cheek weld and head alignment straightforward, which is everything for long-range match work. The Savage 110 Ultralight Elite is proof that lightweight doesn't have to mean fragile or underperforming. Objectively, this rifle is designed to bridge the gap between backcountry portability and bench rest level precision, and Savage Arms has executed that balance remarkably well. At its core is a carbon fiber wrapped stainless steel barrel made by Proof Research, a major contributor to the rifle's low overall weight, which comes in around 5 pounds unloaded. That's featherlight for a full-powered bolt action. It's paired with an MDT HNT26 carbon fiber folding stock, a rugged and modern chassis-style system that adds rigidity while keeping the rifle compact and easy to carry in the field. The barrel is threaded 5/8-24, giving shooters the option to attach a suppressor or muzzle brake. In fact, Savage includes an Omniport radial brake that noticeably tames muzzle rise. It's chambered in multiple calibers such as 6.5 Creedmoor, .308 Winchester, and others depending on the configuration, making it adaptable to various hunting scenarios. Expect a price point near $3,000, positioning it squarely in the premium ultralight category. On the performance side, the 110 Ultralight Elite inherits Savage's well-known AccuTrigger system, which is user-adjustable and delivers a crisp, predictable break with a wide range of pull weight options. That trigger is paired with the company's floating bolt head design, ensuring consistent lockup and aiding in the rifle's impressive accuracy despite its low mass. The 3-position tang safety locks the bolt securely when engaged, an important feature for hunters navigating dense brush or steep terrain. Savage's reputation for durability is fully intact here. Every surface and component feels engineered to survive cold, wet, and abrasive conditions. T70T70 feels engineered to survive cold, wet, or wear down lesser rifles. Even with the ultralight construction, the rifle feels solid. There's no sense of flex or hollow feedback when firing or cycling the bolt. Subjectively, the 110 Ultralight Elite stands out as one of the few rifles that genuinely earns its name. It feels almost impossibly light when you first shoulder it, yet it maintains a balanced, steady aim when you settle into a shooting position. The carbon fiber stock is comfortable, with smart contours and a tactile surface that encourages proper grip even with gloves. Recoil management is excellent for a rifle of this weight class, thanks to the combination of the muzzle brake, recoil pad, and stock geometry. Accuracy is where this gun really shines. It punches far above what most expect from a 5-pound rifle. The Wilson Combat NULA Model 20 closes this list by reviving a classic ultralight concept with modern execution. And it's the kind of rifle that feels both familiar and refined when you shoulder it. Objectively, the NULA Model 20 is a bolt-action ultralight in the 5-pound class with an overall length near 40 inches and a 20-inch barrel, typically offered in popular hunting calibers like .308 Winchester, 6.5 Creedmoor, and other hunting staples depending on the build. It uses a 2-lug bolt action with a short, efficient bolt throw that keeps follow-up shots quick, and the package is rounded out with an adjustable Timney Elite Hunter trigger installed from the factory. Magazine capacity is standard for the class, generally 4+1. The barrel twist is commonly a practical one, 8 on the 20-inch test barrels to stabilize a broad range of bullets, and the stock and bedding are engineered to keep the rifle both light and rigid. Expect Wilson Combat pricing in the premium bracket for a niche, hand-finished piece. Typical MSRP figures for similar Wilson Combat NULA offerings commonly sit in the mid to high thousands, reflecting bespoke finishing and assembly, compared with mass-market ultralights. On the performance side, the NULA Model 20 is built to deliver accurate, instinctive shooting without burdening you on a long day of glassing or hiking. The 2-lug action is smooth and fast. The Timney trigger provides a crisp, predictable break out of the box, and the overall balance of the rifle makes it quick to mount in shoulders and steady off improvised rests. The lightweight construction does not translate into a flimsy feel. Instead, Wilson Combat's attention to fit, finish, and material choice. Wilson Combat's attention to fit, finish, and material choice produces a rifle that feels tight and confident. Accuracy expectations for this class are realistic. With quality ammo and optics, the NULA consistently produces very good hunting accuracy inside typical field distances, and many shooters report it punching well inside an inch at 100 yards in tested configurations. Recoil is manageable thanks to the balance and a properly contoured stock, though of course lighter rifles always transmit more of the impulse to the shooter than heavier guns. Something to keep in mind if you're recoil sensitive. Subjectively, I find the NULA Model 20 to be one of those rifles that makes you rethink compromises. It preserves the carry advantages of ultralight designs while delivering a level of refinement and trigger quality that keeps the rifle usable for precise, ethical shot making. Shouldering it feels almost effortless, and the quick handling inspires confidence when tracking game or transitioning between targets.